Welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time. Had a lot of major life events happening. We bought a house. It's been occupying a lot of my time, a lot of my money. So time to record videos has been limited. And then within this period of time, I also lost my mother. So that beginning song that I did, I named it Lady Lynn. It's dedicated to my mother. It's going to be a finished track at some point. I got to sort out a lot of details with it, but that's the beginnings of it. So I appreciate you sticking around. I appreciate you taking the time to come back and give a listen. What I'm going to be covering today is an amazing app called SparkVerb. It actually helped inspire the beginning song also with the preset, the endless reverb. Now what SparkVerb is an algorithmic reverb, which means your audio is passed through a network of digital delayed lines that are modulated, filtered, and fed back to each other to resemble the reflections of a room or a chamber or a hall or whatever. It's a very nice wide reverb with a smooth tail. It can do any type of reverb that you can think of. Now, as far as the user interface goes, it's pretty straightforward. You got the typical things like the size of the room, pre-delay, the shape which sets up the way that the reflections come back. You got modulation, depth, rate, which can give a little motion to the reverb, almost like a vibrato, makes it waver. There's a little mode pull down menu. Let's see if I can get it to work here. It got lo-fi, dark and bright. And those all change the shape of the reverb also. Now the center screen where the rainbow color is, that's the spectral display. And it's a pretty cool little section. Down below, you'll see there's a set of knobs. This is a low decay, high decay, the main decay. And then you've got little buttons that will lock the low pass or the high pass filter. And then there's two contour knobs, I believe for high and low. Now the spectral display section is not necessarily like an EQ, but it will shape the size and style of the reverb. I have it set on endless. Now I'm going to tweak the end part so you can hear. Now on this preset, the high pass is locked. So I'll unlock that. That makes the high decay accessible now. If it's still locked, you can move it side to side, but you can't change the level up and down. Very cool. Now, right up above the screen, there's a menu of your presets. You can see it says endless up there. Right to the right of the title of the preset, you have another little button that you can press. You press that up, and that's the preset Voyager, which is kind of cool. You can see how these presets are connected. You can make connections between certain types of reverb. And see, if I move my finger around, you can see certain presets joining each other. There is a key on the left that shows you what each color dot represents. Really cool. Just, you can really do some interesting things with it. Oh, and if you press the preset menu, it brings up a menu that you can move up and down and choose different things. You got your load, save, the factory presets, default. Let me get it back to the spectral display. It's a really beautiful reverb, all in all, in many ways. Now, as most of us know that mess around with apps on our phones or devices, the little dice, we know what that means. That means random. So you can have fun with that. So roll the die. Actually, it's dice because there's two of them. But you can switch between A and B, have different presets on A and B. Roll the dice. You can hear it using the modulation in this little preset that it just created. Makes it waver. I'm going to make the modulation very high. Tweak it down a bit. Roll the dice again. There we go. Oh, very flat. Let's do another one. There we go. It's almost like a vast garbage can or something. Crazy reverbs. You can create a lot. Now, say I'm going to get it back to endless. Open up my menu. And there's endless on the side here. I could play with endless forever. I could endlessly play with the endless preset. I love it. It's replaced a lot of large reverbs that I use because I'm a big reverb fan. I love the endless reverbs. I use them a lot. I'm not going to name any names, but this reverb has replaced a few. So on the right side of the user interface, you have the usual and not so usual controls. You got the mix, which is a blend between the instrument and the effect. You've got roll off, which controls the reverberation bandwidth and width. Then there's a diffusion button, which is really nice for percussion. And then you've got the start, which changes the delay time of the first diffuse and then amount. And then there's a pull down section, which is the density, which changes the echo density. So back up to the little toolbar that's up above the spectral display. You have this, it's like it almost looks like an infinity or a DNA symbol. And with that symbol, when you press it, it will slightly alter the parameters of the reverb that you're using. You can see in the spectral display how the color's changing a bit. You can lock certain features. Actually, I think you can lock all the buttons or knobs. I keep calling them buttons. So say I don't want to alter the mix, which I don't think many of these really change the mix. So I'm going to go with the decay in the center. I'll pull the decay down. Now, if you long press, it brings up a little menu. Shows locked, unlock all parameters, and MIDI learn. MIDI learn is very cool because you can set it to be controlled by a controller. So I'm going to lock. Now, you're going to see when I change the display in the spectral display that the decay is not going to move. Everything else will move, but the decay stays where I have it set. So with that DNA looking picture on the toolbar up top, you can fine tune certain aspects of the preset that you have, and it will not change what you have locked. And you can see it changing, but the decay stays the same. And it has a little lock symbol on it to show that it's locked. So I'm going to unlock it now. Take that little tick off. It's no longer locked. So you can see that the decay now just changed. I use endless just to show, because it's such a dramatic reverb, just to kind of show how the changes that I do affects the reverb. But you've got very specific menu sections: vocal, room, drums, ensemble, effects, shimmer. Let's go to shimmer. I love shimmer verbs. What's the final countdown? Let's change another one. You can hear a little shimmer in there. Let's try Lost in Spark. That sounds interesting. Shimmer 1. hear the modulations way up on this. So that's it, guys. SparkVerb, an amazingly flexible and really fun reverb effect. My apologies to the developer for taking so long to get this video out. I really appreciate everybody being patient with me, and I'm going to be trying harder to get back to my every other week schedule, putting out videos, because right now I just don't have any excuses. So I'm going to be getting back to it. So once again, I will say that I appreciate you guys. If you got it in you, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. I think I'm up to like 449 now. I'm trying to get up to 500 at least. It's taken years for me to get up there. So I really appreciate the support. And remember, be kind, like, and subscribe.